Hello, hi, and welcome to my channel. This is my very first collective reading I'm going to do on here. My name is Diana. I am a psychic medium, a witch, and an end-of-life doula. And on my channel, I will be doing collective readings, pick-a-cards, some other fun witchcraft content, and I'm going to be uploading episodes of my podcast called Grief Diaries coming very, very soon. So, for collective reading, all I'm going to say is for you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, let it out. I'll ask you if I have permission to tap into your energy, and here we go. What does the collective need in this moment right now? Ooh, okay. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's see here. I think I'm just gonna like record this right through. Okay, first and foremost, what I want to share is the Hermit, which is very, very cute. The Hermit energy, I love the Hermit energy because it's really about solitude and going inward. And it's winter time right now, so that's the perfect time to do it. I do feel like there's a lot of people collectively going through a shift right now and doing some like really deep internal work, internal healing, closing out cycles that you're leaving in 2024. But I feel like for some people, and as I always say, take this how it resonates. For some people, I feel like there's still some lingering energy, and I do feel like this is connected to relationships, specifically friendships, romantic partnerships, even business relationships that you've walked away from or, you know, have distanced yourself from. And I feel like this Hermit energy is just giving you this time to really, like, I want to use the word soul search, really nurture your soul. And I don't know why I want to say sit with your soul, but nurture your soul and sit with your soul and ask it what it really truly needs and what it is that you need to let go of and what it needs you need to disconnect from. But also that feeling your feelings is okay. It is okay if you are sad. It is okay if you're mad. It's okay if you're angry. I do feel like there is this like collective feeling of grieving and grief and grieving your old life and grieving your old relationships, even if they weren't great for you. We all learn something from the past, and we all learn something from past relationships that we've been in. Again, I do feel like this is romantic for some, not everyone. But I do feel like friendships, family relationships, even, and connections. And you could, with the Hermit, even though I love this card, you can feel a little bit disconnected sometimes. You be feeling disconnected from your intuition is what I'm feeling right now. So if you feel like you're in this like weird in-between space, know that this too shall pass. I just feel like you're meant to feel your feelings and be in your feelings right now, because springtime is just going to be such a beautiful and abundant time for so many people in so many ways. But like the Hermit is giving you this chance to really sit with yourself and look forward, decide what you want to do going forward. Even if you don't know what that is or how it looks, dream big and dream like you've never dreamed before. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but I truly do believe like your dreams are worth chasing and your dreams are worth having, and that's why you have them. It's the people around us sometimes who like dampen that, right? Who tell us we can't have this, or that's never going to happen for you, or what makes you think that's going to happen for you. And so we kind of let those old stories take over, and then that becomes our belief, even though that really isn't our belief. And I feel like this Hermit is really giving you that chance to, like, in these winter months. So like, what are we in now? We're in January now, so we're going to February. March is still winter. April is still winter here in Canada. So take these next few months to just really just move slow, move intentionally. Intention is coming up. Intentions of people. Like, if someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. I feel like this is like a common theme. Listen to your intuition. You are your own guide. You do not need to seek validation outside of yourself. You have all the answers inside of you. But I think, especially like if you've grown up to not listening to yourself and listening to everyone else but yourself, it's really hard to practice discernment. But I feel like this Hermit card is really giving you that chance to sit with those feelings. And sorry, I use my hands a lot when I talk. To sit with those feelings and move through them and just be. So slow mornings is coming up again for me. So this is like sitting with a coffee. You don't have to meditate. You can if you want to. Listening to music, reading a book, taking breaks in between the work that you're doing, listening to a podcast, like whatever fills you up with joy in these small moments. I always say small moments and like small movements add to bigger ones, right? And make bigger ones eventually. So I feel like tending to your soul is really, really important at this time. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, what are we getting here? Okay. I don't know why. I feel like some people are moving, and I want to say within the next 6 months. Move means I feel like this is like, again, moving away from relationships, but also moving away from old stories that you tell yourself. But some people are actually physically moving. So if you have had this place on your vision board and you are ready for a house or ready for a type of move, even moving overseas for some is what I'm hearing, or some type of business deal or business opportunity that's coming to you. If you've been manifesting this or like thinking about this, please know that this is a sign that this is going to happen for you. The next 6 months is what I'm being shown as a projected time, but know that things can change at any time. Because we all have free will based on choices and decisions and directions you take. What I also love about this it's funny, this dog's on a skateboard, so if you might be into skateboarding, sometimes I look at the cards and I see like other things inside of it, and if I'm drawn to it, I'll say it. So like, any skateboarders out there or people that are wanting to pick that up again, you're never too old is a message that I meant to say. Also, yes, this is a dog deck, but I feel like a dog is coming up, or a fur baby that you've been waiting for, or you've been thinking of, or you've been really wanting to have. I also feel like specifically a rescue dog is coming up for whoever that's meant for. With the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like this is also about being smarter with your money and like working smarter, not harder is the thing that I'm also hearing. But like being smart about your money, being intentional about your money. I'm not saying don't spend your money. I'm saying being intentional on the things that you want to invest in. I do feel like a lot of people are going to be investing in themselves, and I'm not just talking about like gym membership and personal trainers cuz New Year's, but like there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If that is what you, and I know sometimes people will say things about like, oh, new year, new me, I gotta do all these things. And it's like, you can do all the things if you want to, or you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. But I do feel that, and it's funny I mentioned trainers and gym, because I feel like that's for someone specifically. This is your sign. And the investment is going to work for you. I also feel like this is investing your money into, I keep hearing allocated places. So it makes me think of like investing in businesses, or investing in your business, investing in a business mentor. For some, I also feel like this is more of the banking side of things. So if you have an investment account, TFSA, RRSP, or like just small investments. I also feel like this has to do with a home. The home thing is coming up again. So like, even in this economy, and you're just like, how the hell am I going to do this? There's an opportunity that's coming within the next 6 months, but you're being asked to be very intentional with your spending. For those who, like, maybe don't have the greatest spending habits, this is kind of like, it feels self-helpy. So it's like either reading self-help books or talking to a financial advisor or talking to someone who can kind of like get that in check for you, because it's going to help you in the long run. And this is really what I'm feeling that's coming up within the next 6 months. And like, I do feel like money is turning around. So if you've been having a difficult time, and you've been worried about finances, or where's the next dollar coming from, or like, I'm working this shit job that I don't like, I do feel like there's a lot more opportunities that are coming up. I love this 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is beautiful energy. This is like, okay, this can be about children. I also feel like pregnancy within the next 6 months. So those of you who are wanting to have a baby, or have been trying to have a baby, or thinking about having a baby, there's something coming within the next 6 months. I also feel like this, because there's dogs. It doesn't have to be a dog, but I do feel like this is also for babies coming into your life. So like, a lot of energy around that. I love that. But like, a lot of joy too, because 6 of Cups is, it's nostalgia. It's inner child connection. It's inner child joy. And I feel like you're meant to feel more joy and experience more joy. We can be on the treadmill of life and just keep going and going and going and going, and like not stopping to look around and notice everything around us, kind of being like on autopilot. There's times where I've felt like I'm on fucking autopilot forever, and I'm just like missing all these beautiful small moments that I can have, where like, doom scrolling and not being in the moment, and missing out on things, and putting my energy into places where I shouldn't have, but I could have been putting it back into myself. But because I just been on the same kind of trajectory, I didn't stop to look around at everything. And now I'm noticing for myself, and I don't know who else is gonna connect to this, but like, I'm noticing like, I want more quiet nights. I want to be present when I'm hanging out with friends, or when I'm hanging out with my husband and our dog, and instead of being distracted. So like, I feel like if you feel very distracted, distractions are going to the wayside. I feel like being easily distracted is going to shift and change. But I also feel like it's because you're putting yourself out there more to create more of this joy. And what I mean by that is like connecting with old friends, going for walks, like, and it doesn't have to be anything big or crazy. It could literally be calling up an old friend and being like, hey, do you want to chat? Or like, hey, do you want to go for a walk in the park? I like to go on cemetery walks. Sometimes I'll call my friends up to go for a cemetery walk, because it's just like really beautiful, and you have that moment in time together where you can just talk and enjoy each other and not be distracted. And I really do feel like this 6 of Cups energy is really about bringing more of that joy into your life. So like, think about what you liked doing as a kid. What did you like doing as a kid? What was fun for you? Maybe it's watching an old movie that you liked when you were a child. Maybe it's, I don't know, buying your favorite candy. Maybe it's going to an amusement park, obviously not right now, depending where you live, but maybe it's going to an old amusement park that you used to go to when you were a kid, or like going to a concert, or just, I don't know, just like making these small memories that kind of remind you of that nostalgic time when you were a child. And I feel like it's very nurturing for your inner child. I feel like there's a lot of inner child work going on within the next 6 months too, and connecting to that inner child, but like also holding space for them and being connected to them. Because I think a lot of the times as you get older, you feel like you're not connected to your inner child, but you are. They're always a part of you. And I feel like being connected to your inner child also helps a lot with connecting to your intuition. It also helps connecting to your psychic abilities and your mediumship abilities. Now I know like other people might say differently, but this is just my personal experience and my personal opinion. But I feel like the more you're connected to your inner child, the more open you are, because think of children and how open they are and how they just kind of like see the world as magic and see it how it is despite all the shit that's going on. They see everything and they also feel everything. And I feel like when we grow up, sometimes we kind of like stifle that part in ourselves. And I really feel like this is a lot more people are going to be so much more deeply connected and in tune with their inner child and their intuition and like healing that. So you heal your inner child by setting boundaries, by standing up for yourself, by saying yes when you want to say yes, and saying no when you want to say no. And know that they are so proud of you. I feel like someone needs to hear this. Like, your little you is so proud of you and so proud of all the work that you've done and how far you've come. And sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit, or you don't give yourself enough time and space to, you know, really sit in that and really feel it. And this is changing. This is changing. And I also feel like for very small people who are going to listen to this, this is who have children, like I feel like this is building an even deeper connection with your children. And what I mean by that is like the hustle and bustle of everyday life and how life gets busy and work gets busy and all the distractions. I feel like there's like less times on phones and screens, more time being together, doing things together. So if someone here has kids and they've been like, you know, worried that, oh my gosh, I've been working so much, or I've been on my phone so much, or I'm like not paying as much attention to my kids as I could, and all of these things, I feel like this is shifting. And yeah, I am now going to pull an oracle card, and I'm gonna pull it from Seasons of the Witch Litha Oracle deck, just because I know I was talking about luck the next 6 months, so I'm like springish vibes. Ooh. Insects. Vigilance is necessary. Whoa. Vigilance is necessary at this time. Heed the warning. Vigilance is necessary at this time. Okay, so what I get from vigilance is necessary at this time is to stay vigilant in what it is that you're doing and what it is that you are wanting to create, especially like I keep saying the next 6 months, for the next 6 months. So if you know you have a goal, it's like keep that goal at the forefront. Don't obsess over it, but like keep it there and do the things in order to get closer to that goal. So like for instance, if you're like, I want to start a YouTube channel, maybe you start posting videos once a week. Or I want to start, you know, a podcast, or I want to join a book club, or I want to like all of these things, the things you want to do more of that fill you with joy. Stay the course and don't get like sidetracked by distractions, by drama. That's kind of what I'm hearing, and kind of just like laser focus on what it is you want and what it is, not even what it, how you want to get there. And even if you don't know how, this is where the intuition part comes in. This is where your inner child connection comes in. Talk to them, ask them questions, ask them what you should do, and wait for an answer. And I know that sounds silly, but if you're just like, if you just sat there for like 5 minutes with your eyes closed and you're trying to connect to your inner child and asking them what they need or what kind of advice do they have for you, listen, and you will get an answer. I promise you. But I feel like this is like staying the course and not getting sidetracked into all this other bullshit over here, because the more you get sidetracked, the further away you get from what it is that you want. And then the next card I pulled is garden bed. Sometimes it's difficult to see how hard you're working when you don't provide space for reflection. So this is going to that hermit card that I pulled earlier. This is really about looking back at how far you have come. I've mentioned this once in a post about, writing a letter to yourself from 6 months earlier, what you've accomplished in the last 6 months. Now, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I did all of these things, but like even small things. Like, I every day I wake up now and I meditate, or I don't go on scrolling on my phone as soon as I wake up. And so this is what I'm talking about. If you're writing down all of these things that you've done, no matter how big or small, they're still things and you're still doing them. And it's hard sometimes when you are continuously, like I said, going through life and just on that spinning wheel, that you forget that, oh my gosh, I've grown, I've changed. This is what I've changed in the last 6 months. This is, I got closer to this goal. Or maybe it's not even about a goal. It's just about realizing that you're always growing and changing, and sometimes you don't stop to just absorb that and feel that and be proud of yourself. So I feel like this is a reminder for like a nice little pat on the back. I also feel like coming in as signs, this butterfly in this card is really, really standing out to me. So like, however that resonates for someone, I feel like the butterfly is, it's obviously transformation and change. So if you start seeing those, I feel like this is a sign that like change is coming and transformation is coming, and what you're asking for has been coming. I also feel like this strongly, that this is from a female, a sign from a female who's passed. I do feel like this is like a mother slash grandmother type energy. So please take this however it resonates, because I do feel like this sign is coming up. Now, signs can come up like physically, you can see a butterfly, or it can just be, in a card, in a movie, on a screen, in a book. But I do feel like this is coming up more and more and more, especially as we're progressing towards spring. And do I have any final messages here? Any final collective messages? I keep hearing just be yourself. Just be yourself. Show up as yourself. And that's all you need to do. You don't need to be anybody else but you. And when you show up as you, you allow that light to shine, and other people will see that. And no one can take that light away from you. I just want to say that. Nobody can take that light away from you, because that light is yours and that power is yours. And that is all I have for today. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up, and you can comment below. Would love to hear if anything resonates. And if you'd like to follow more, I also have an Instagram. I think I might have it linked, but I'll link it below. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful week.